Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. It is launch day. Hallelujah. Woo! What is up, guys? What is up? I am Lisa Hodorovich. I am now officially a published author. Oh my gosh. I can't believe I'm saying that. It's such a great feeling to say it. It took me 33 years. So here we are. As you come on, please say your hellos. I see a woo from, I'm guessing that's my lovely brother-in-law, Ed, and a woohoo from Ghostwriter. So hi, guys. How are you? What is up? Thank you so much for joining me. Babe, can you lower that a little bit? I hear myself.
Oh.
Thank you. I have my husband watching me as well. He's my producer or liaison. I don't even know what the proper word is, but he's my go-to guy. And I was hearing myself and I was like, echo. It was weird. It was so weird. Thanks. Hi, Joe. What's up? What's up? So I'm gonna wait a minute, let people come on, say their hellos, and we'll fully get started. I have a couple of things in mind that I want to do as we celebrate the launch of my book, The Disappearance. I wish I had the physical book in my hands to show you guys, but it's still in printing process and, waiting for it to get shipped and everything. So I still hear myself. So weird. But yeah, so I unfortunately can't show it, but once I do have it in my hands, do not worry, guys. I will be posting the video, doing an unveiling, and doing an ugly cry, because we all know I ugly cry. So blind spot on the page. What does that mean? Oh, hi, Dad. What's up? So I'm gonna see if I can actually, not to be rude, but I'm gonna hide the comments, and I don't think I can actually. Never mind. It is what it is, because I get very distracted. I'm like a dog that, squirrel, and then, oh, human. I get very distracted very easily. So I'm gonna be like looking at comments the entire time. I do apologize. But pretty much the idea for today is I want to do a toast first to, everything that's happening. I want to do some acknowledgments, some thank yous to very important people in my life. I am the blind spot. Oh, okay. Okay, whatever. I'm sorry?
That's Big Boy Frank.
Oh, what up, Frank? Now I get it. It makes sense now. What up? What up? So I'll do some acknowledgments. I'm going to read a passage from The Disappearance, so you guys get to hear a part of it, and then we'll do question and answer session. And if you ask me a question, you'll be entered into a giveaway, and the giveaway will be, hi, Julia. What's up, honey? The giveaway will include a signed copy of The Disappearance, a bookmark, a t-shirt, and my favorite Ed Hardy sangria. It's been chilling in my fridge, so it's nice and cold. Oh, I love it. I should have bought one for myself. I'm so mad that I didn't. But lucky winner will get this along with a signed copy of The Disappearance, a bookmark, and a t-shirt. And right now the t-shirt is looking like a black shirt with red writing on the front. The red writing will be The Disappearance by Lisa Hodorovich. And on the back is going to be the tagline. So, yeah. So that's the plan for today. Like I said, I'm going to wait a little while longer, wait for a little bit, for a couple more people to come on, and then we'll get started. All right, guys. So I hope you're enjoying the beautiful weather today. Okay. I hope you're enjoying the beautiful weather. Hi, thank you. I'm guessing that's Mark. Hi, Mark. How are you? Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Hi, Jamie. Thank you so much. Oh, Oh, please, me become rich and famous. Okay, you're cute. Hey, Barbara, how are you? Thank you guys for joining. I really appreciate it. So just waiting a couple more minutes and then we'll get started. I get Frank knows. Frank has seen on Facebook. I get distracted very, very easily. Okay, guys. So 3:05. I say let's get started with the show, shall we? Shall we? Let's do it. So we'll start with a toast first. Let me grab my drink. So oh, of course, Cosmo. Yes, that is definitely the most important guest right now is Mr. Cosmo. That's for those of you who don't know, Cosmo is my father-in-law and brother-in-law's dog. Big beagle, big love bug. I love him dearly. Please give him a kiss for me, Eddie. I love my Cosmo. So if anybody has a drink, whether it's water, coffee, tea, soda, wine, beer, whatever it is, grab your drink and let's do a toast. Everything okay? Good. Okay. Just making sure everything's okay. Want to do a quick toast. Here's to me. Not to be a little conceited, but here's to me. This, like I said, is 33 years in the making. Ever since I was little, this is what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to be an author. I wanted to publish. I wanted to be a published author and, put my stories out to the world. So I'm very proud of myself for being able to do this. Here's to Serial Writer Productions, my publisher, and Colette Tozer. She worked so incredibly hard for this, and I'm so excited, and I cannot be any more grateful for all she's done. I have no clue she's on right now or not, but I'm so incredibly grateful to her and to Serial Writer for their hard work and for their help. And here's to all of you for joining me today and for always being by my side, being so supportive. Thank you all so much. Cheers. I love you all. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Feeling good, baby. Feeling good. All right. So, again, like I mentioned before, we're going to be doing a question and answer session. Do not forget, make sure you post your questions in the comment section, and you can ask any question. It could be anything from something about the book, like how did the book come about, to asking me, what's your favorite color? It doesn't matter what question you ask me, and it doesn't matter if I get to answer it or not. You will be entered into the giveaway. So make sure you start asking your questions in the comment section. Mr. John, my lovely husband, is watching over the questions and will be telling me when he sees them. And I'll see them too because, I get distracted. So I want to do some acknowledgments really quick. I do want to say some thank yous to some people. I might get a little emotional, so bear with me. But first, I do want to thank, again, Colette Tozer of Serial Writer Productions for taking a chance with me. It was 2018, late 2018, early 2019 that I contacted her. The reason why I contacted her was because I was starting my own business. At the time, Quote the Writer, my business was an editing and proofreading service and now has blossomed into pretty much a publishing company. But at the time, with it being an editing and proofreading service, I was contacting different publishing companies to see if they needed help with any editing and proofreading. And she was one of the companies that answered. And when I saw her name, when I saw her mission and what her company was about, and the fact that it publishes mainly suspense, thriller, horror type books, I said, so by the way, I have my own book that I've been working on. It is a suspense thriller. It's called The Disappearance. May I send you a query and a sample? And, if you like it, maybe we can, work together on it. And she said, yes. I was floored. So I got everything ready. I sent her a sample. I sent her a query letter. And I want to say maybe a week later, she got back to me saying, I want to publish this. Let's do this. And you want to talk about ugly crying? Holy crap. Ask John. I was so bad. It was bad. So yeah. So that was February of 2019 that we started the process, and here we are, September 26th, 2020, the birth of the Disappearance. I cannot be I'm overjoyed. I'm so blessed. I'm so happy. I mean, there's so many words I could go and use right now, but speechless is definitely one of them, even though I could talk and talk and talk. But yes, so Serial Writer Productions and Colette Tozer, thank you so, so much for giving me this opportunity and publishing me. And I really hope that this is the start of a beautiful blossoming relationship between us. So thank you. Of course, I need to thank my parents, my mom and dad, and my brother Anthony. They have stood by me and supported me since the very beginning. And I mean, I'm sure when my mom heard that I wanted to be a writer, she was like, that's not lucrative. You don't want to do something that's a little bit more profitable. But she hit it. She hit it very well. But no, she honestly stood behind me and said, "Go for it, do it. You're amazing. So I know you do well." And so I got to thank my parents and my brother for being so supportive these 33 years of my life. And of course, when it comes to family, I mean, I of course have to include all of my family, from my cousins, my aunts, my uncles, to my in-laws. Eddie, hi. Dad, hi. Jamie, Peter, hi. My little Zeke boy. I mean, everybody that has been by my side, whether you're blood family or your married family, thank you so much for all of your love and support through these years. It really means a lot to me that, again, even though I picked something that's not exactly, it might not be attainable and it might not be profitable, but you supported me. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for that. To all of my friends, of course, my friends who are family, thank you for being supportive and for being by my side as I trudge through this. A couple of you, which I'll name in a few minutes or a few seconds, were very helpful in making the Disappearance what it is today. So thank you so much for that. Speaking of, to Paul Russell, Meg Castro, and Aaron Doherty, Louise Stahl. The list actually honestly goes on of the people that I gave this book to and asked, would you mind reading it and critiquing it? You all truly helped create the Disappearance to what it is today. It started out as this 40-page thesis from college and has now become an almost 200-page novel. And if it wasn't for you guys, especially you, Paul and Meg and Felicia from my Starlight Writers Group in Gladstone, New Jersey, it wouldn't be what it is today. So thank you so, so, so much for your help. It means the world to me. Trying to think who else. To Starlight Creek Writers Group in Gladstone, New Jersey. I joined them last year, and I've been reading The Disappearance to them, and they have been extremely receptive. They've been loving it, which thank God for that. And they've also been helpful in telling me, okay, this doesn't sound right, but this sounds good. So, work on this, but add this. And, so they've been extremely instrumental in the Disappearance as well. So thank you to that group, from Catherine to Bill to Dick to Craig to David to Felicia, all of you. I love you all so much. Thank you all for making me and letting me be a part of the Starlight Creek family. I love you guys. To my amazing fans on Facebook, you guys are the bomb.com. For anybody who doesn't know, I have a Facebook page. Lisa Dorovich, author. And since April 1st of this year of 2020, because of lovely COVID, which is the main reason why we're doing a virtual launch party and not a physical launch party, I've been reading every week the Disappearance to them. We finished back in June, I want to say June, July. I finished reading it to them, and they were all so receptive and so kind, and pretty much every single one of them have ordered and they're ready for the book to come out. They're ready to get their signed copy. And you guys, I say it every Wednesday night, live reading Wednesdays at 7:15 on my Facebook page, Lisa Dorovich, author, which I think there's a link in the description below. Make sure you subscribe to this, by the way. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Every week they have been by my side, cheering me on, supportive, saying they love the book and everything. And like I said, they've all pretty much pre-ordered their copy and they're ready to hold the copy in their hands. You guys are not just my fans, you are my friends. I love you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm trying to think who else is there before I go to the main person. Or I should say one of the main people that deserves a big thank you right now. No, I think I'm okay. So here's where it might get a little emotional. One of the main people I want to thank is, of course, my husband. Sorry. For 10 years, he has been by my side and cheering me on. Darn it. I'm making him cry. Yes, I win the day. But from day one, he has pushed me. He has told me that he wants to be married to a published author. Here you are, babe. You're married to a published author. Thank you. I love you so, so much. Thank you for everything. And lastly, but not least, oh my God, I want to thank my guardian angel, Angela, up in heaven above. She, for those of you who don't know, she is my sister who in October passed of cancer 20 years ago. And she truly showed me the true strength or the true meaning of strength and being in fighting and persevering. And this is truly for her. She stood by my side as well and cheered me on with the writing. She, poor thing, as well as my family, had to listen to me tell stories over and over again when I was little. And so thank you to all of you. Thank you. Oh, should we read? Let me have a drink first. Hold on. Cheers. Oh my goodness. That was harder than I was expecting, but it's okay. We're good. We are good. All right, guys. So now I'm going to read a section of The Disappearance. To kind of talk about The Disappearance a little bit, to describe what the book is. Again, it is a suspense thriller book. It is about a girl, a woman who's in her 30s, Ashlyn. She goes on vacation with her brother and her two friends, Glenn, Roman, and Caden. They go to a cabin in Lake Minnetonka, Washington, not a fake place, just so you know. I wish it was a real place. God, I would love to go to a cabin right now. Anywho, so they go away on vacation. They're having the time of their lives, drinking, being merry, all that lovely stuff. Until one day, Roman, Caden, and Glenn start leaving her alone. They don't fully give a reason why they're leaving. They're just saying that they're going out for the day. After a while, they leave her completely. She stays waiting for them to come back. She goes searching for them, files missing person reports, all that. but something else finds her. What that something else is, I'm not saying, but we're going to start talking about it. So, the way I did this book is they're journal entries, they're not chapters. It was just easier to do it as journal entries for that way you understood the timeline better than if I just told the story. Because I first started out just telling the story, and well, nobody understood the timeline. So I said, okay, journal entries it is, and everybody loved the idea. So this is, I would say, about middle of the book where I'm starting. So let's get into it, shall we? September 24th. Oh, by the way, I'm so sorry. I just want to mention one thing because I know there's some people who are skittish, I guess would be the right word, when it comes to hearing bad language. Just so you know, there are some bad words being used throughout the book, especially in this section I'm going to be reading. So if that's something that you're not a big fan of, you're not a big fan of hearing bad words, I do apologize, but they are in the book. So here we go. September 24th. I can't believe it's been over a month with nothing from Roman, Caden, or Glenn. No one hearing anything, no one seeing anything, and complete silence from them. I have lost sleep thinking at one point they'll either call or return. I even got the sheriff's new number and still nothing on his end. I'm so disheartened. I'm starting to think they're dead. My parents are trying to stay positive, but I could tell they are just as heartbroken. To make matters worse, my mom got a call this afternoon that her mom, my grandmother, fell and broke her hip. She cried, "Things just can't get any worse right now." I told her while my dad rubbed her back. "We did all we could to comfort her," she continued. "What do I do? I mean, I'm stuck in between a rock and a hard place. I should stay and look for my boys, but I need to take care of my mom." I suggested, "Why don't you and Dad go? I'll stay until October, which is in a week. If still nothing, it'll mark 2 months that they're gone. I'll come home and let the sheriff and other cops around town take care of it." "We're not leaving you alone here," my dad retorted. "I was alone for some time, Dad, and I was fine." "Yeah, that was before we knew the truth, which don't think I forgot about, young lady." I rolled my eyes. He continued, "No, we're not leaving you unless someone is here with you." I thought for a moment and remembered. "Wait, I think Mr. Scarlow is up here for the fall season. Why don't we ask him?" My parents looked at each other and agreed. That's not a bad idea. "He's an old family friend who lives across the lake from us. He's originally from San Francisco and is a little out there, but he's a sweetheart. He's in his 40s, but he always acts like he's in his 20s. My dad called him up and explained the situation. Within minutes, he was over. We spent the rest of the night catching up. What happened with the boys, what's going on in life. Even though there were moments of sadness, they were trumped by moments of happiness. It felt so good to hear laughter in the cabin again. September 25th. This morning, my parents left. Mr. Scarlow was over to see them off. My dad said to him, "Ned, we cannot thank you enough for helping us out and watching Ashlyn." "Please, Bob, your family has always been like mine. I just hope Nancy's mom gets well soon. And don't worry, we'll find Glenn and the others." My dad nodded. He gave me a hug and said, "Don't you do anything stupid, Princess." "Now where's the fun in that?" We both laughed. "Don't worry, Daddy. I'll be fine." I was holding him tight. Both of my parents gave me hugs and kisses before they departed. Mr. Scarlow stayed over after they left and made me some breakfast. As we ate, he asked, "So what can I do today to help find the boys?" I answered, "That's really sweet of you, Mr. Scarlow, but I honestly think this week I'm going to stay back at the cabin and rest. I feel like I got run over by an 18-wheeler." "I completely understand, hon, but that didn't answer my question." I grinned. "You're right. I'm sorry. I can't even think straight," I said as I rubbed my forehead. "It's okay, sweetie." He gently gripped my shoulder. "How about this? I'll contact some of my friends in the area and see if they know anything. Maybe they can help us out." I became excited. "That sounds great. Thanks, Mr. Scarlow." "Of course. Now go rest. I'll take care of cleaning up." That's exactly what I did. I sat on the couch in the family room and watched some TV. However, as I sat there listening to Mr. Scarlow making his calls, I felt even worse. I felt like I should be doing something, but what else could I do? I've been to every town within a 20-mile or so radius of this lake, and I'm sure my parents went further. I've talked to Sheriff McGreedy and the departments in other towns. I've pretty much killed myself to find them, and I have no clue if they're even alive. While these thoughts flooded my mind, I cried hysterically. Mr. Scarlow saw and came over to comfort me. Oh, Ashlyn, what's wrong? It's been 2 months, Mr. Scarlow. I searched everywhere for them and I can't find them. They're most likely dead. No, Ashlyn, don't think like that. He tried his hardest to comfort me, but it wasn't working. Then he asked, why did you stay then if this is how you feel? It took me a minute to answer. I had to think about it. Why did I stay? Then I remembered. Because as they left, Caden said, we'll be watching over you. I don't think they went anywhere far if that was the case, right? I think you're exactly right. I know he was just saying that to make me feel better, which kind of helped. Here, let me make you a cup of my tea. A cup of Mr. Scarlow's tea will always bring you relief. I laughed. He wasn't kidding, though. Whenever he makes tea, you always feel 10 times better. I think he puts something in it to help calm you down, but I've never watched him make it, so I can't say for sure. After drinking Mr. Scarlow's amazing tea and relaxing for some time, excuse me, I am so sorry. I decided to go for a walk in the backyard. I wandered through the woods for a good hour and got pretty far from the cabin. I felt at home in the woods. I felt composed. I actually talked out loud while walking. They can't be dead. My boys are so strong. They can fight anything, whether it's a cold or a bear. They're nearby. I know they are. One day I'm going to look up and they'll be right in front of my face. As I continued walking, I began to hear twigs snapping and leaves crunching under a heavy foot. I looked around to find nothing. No animal, nor no person. I said, okay, now I'm convinced Mr. Scarlow put something in his tea. He needs to share that shit. It's amazing. Then I saw a huge footprint in the ground. It looked human, but it was massive and somewhat deformed. My heart leapt into my throat. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I thought, is Bigfoot in my backyard? The snapping of twigs and the crunching of leaves persisted, but it was all around me. I scanned around and still found nothing. All right, Mr. Scarlow doesn't have to share with me. This is a little much. I panicked and quickly went back to the cabin. As I walked in, Mr. Scarlow saw I was a little skittish. You okay, Ash? I looked at him. I think I'm seriously losing my mind. Why? What makes you say that? Still trying to catch my breath, I replied, because I swear to God, I just found a Bigfoot print not too far from the cabin. He looked away. That's interesting. I became nervous. Why? Because we haven't had a Bigfoot sighting since the 80s. He looked back at me with a smirk on his face. I chuckled as I rubbed my face and hair, trying to quiet my mind. He walked over to me, gently rubbed my shoulders, and said, relax, sweetie. It was probably a bear print that you mistook for something else. There might be an animal control law here, but we still get them every so often. I may not be all there, but I know what I saw. He wrapped his arm around my shoulders and gently led me toward the living room. Why don't you go sit down and I'll make you some tea? My eyes widened. Actually, I think I'm good, Mr. Scarlow. Having one of your teas a day is more than I can handle. We stopped. Honey, I wasn't talking about my tea. Everyone can handle my tea only once a day. We laughed. Once the morning turned into night, Mr. Scarlow left to take care of his little chihuahua, Mr. Bojangles. I told him he could bring him over. You know I love dogs. He replied, I know, sweetie, but he has his special spots that he likes to sleep and go potty, so I'm not going to mess that up for him. Okay, then I'll see you tomorrow. Bright and early. Please not too early, Mr. Scarlow. I do want to try and get some sleep. Understandable. How about around 10 or 11 then? Perfect. Thank you, Mr. Scarlow. You're very welcome, Ashlyn. Good night. Soon after he left, I went back to the couch to continue watching TV, where I eventually fell asleep. September 26th. This morning, I woke up with a massive kink in my neck. Well, I'm never sleeping on the couch again, if you even call that sleeping. I was constantly tossing and turning, having some very weird dreams. Or at least I hope they were dreams. I honestly can't remember if I was awake or dreaming, but I kept on seeing these bright red eyes by the windows. Around 10:30, Mr. Scarlow showed up. He came in hollering, "Wakey, wakey!" I replied, somewhat irritated, "I'm awake, Mr. Scarlow." "Good, because I'm about to make some breakfast." Then he saw me hunched over with my head tilted to one side. "Don't even tell me you slept on that couch the entire night." My eyes shifted. "Okay, I won't." He sighed. "Here, let me help you out." He came over and started rubbing my neck, shoulders, and upper back. Little by little, I was able to move my neck again. "Oh, wow. This feels amazing, Mr. Scarlow. Since when are you a massage therapist?" "Since I decided to take some classes to meet this guy only to find out he has a boyfriend." "That bastard." He laughed. "I know, right? But I learned a great skill that led me to this other guy." "Wait, does that mean?" "Yepers." "Oh, yay. I'm so happy for you, Mr. Scarlow." "Thanks, sweetie. So where is he? I want to meet him." "He'll be down later in October. Right now, he's traveling for work." As he continued to massage me, he told me more about his new boyfriend. After about a half hour or so, I was able to move my neck again. "Oh, that's so much better. Thank you." "You're welcome. Now, what lesson did we learn?" "Not to sleep on the couch," I grumbled like a teenager being punished. Later in the day, I went for another walk in the woods. I figured what happened yesterday was a reaction from Mr. Scarlow's tea, which I learned to only drink at night. However, as I walked around, I found one of Caden's shirts lying on a branch, like it was purposefully put there. I ran to it and grabbed it. "Caden," I said softly to the shirt as if it would answer me. I held it against my chest. I teared up. I then held it up to see it's been torn to shreds. "Oh God, Caden, what the hell happened?" That's when I heard heavy footsteps running away, but they were a distance ahead of me. I looked up, excitedly yelled, "Caden!" and ran toward the footsteps. I continued yelling, "Caden, wait!" Then I heard them stop. I stopped and looked around. "Caden?" I saw nothing, but I heard something heavily breathing. It almost sounded like when a bulldog or a pug is breathing heavily, kind of a wheezing sound. "Caden, it's Ashlyn!" I walked around trying to follow the sound of the breathing, but it seemed like it was coming from every direction. I couldn't pinpoint it. I looked for tracks or any other signs of Roman, Caden, or Glenn being nearby. As per usual, I found nothing. My heart sank further and further. I fell to the ground, gripping Caden's shirt, and I cried. I wailed, "Please don't leave me again, Caden." From behind me, I heard Mr. Scarlow calling my name. I guess he heard me screaming and came looking for me. When he found me, he ran over to me. "Honey, what happened?" He fell beside me and held me. He saw the shirt in my hand. He grabbed it. "What's this?" Through tears, I responded, "Caden's shirt." "Oh, honey," he said sympathetically. He tried pulling me up. "Come on, let's get back to the cabin." But I fought him. I screamed, "No, I'm not leaving him." He continued pulling me away, and I continued fighting. He was getting angry, but I could also hear fear in his voice. "Ashlyn, we need to leave now." "You go back to the cabin. I'm not leaving on..." "Ashlyn, Angela, and Musso, you're coming back to the cabin with me right now or else." I was stunned. Mr. Scarlow never yells. I've never seen him get that upset. Through streaming tears, I said, "I'm sorry, Mr. Scarlow. It's okay, sweetie. Let's just get back to the cabin. I'll make you a cup of tea. I think we'll both need it tonight." As he helped me back, I noticed he kept on looking around, but I didn't even bother to ask why. I was still in so much shock from finding Caden's shirt. After drinking some tea, the rest of the night was a blur. September 27th. This morning, when I woke up, after sleeping pretty well thanks to Mr. Scarlow's tea, I called my parents to tell them what I found. One of the plethora of questions they asked was, "How do you know it was deliberately placed there? It could have been there this entire time." I retorted, "Because I went past the same area the other day and nothing was there." They had no response. Not too long after I got off the phone with them, Mr. Scarlow walked in. "Good morning." "Good morning, Mrs. Scarlow." "How are we doing today? Better?" "Yeah, a little." He came over and sat next to me on the couch. "Good, I'm glad to hear. Listen, Mr. Scarlo, I just want to apologize for yesterday. He held up his hand. No need to apologize, sweetie. If anything, I should apologize to you for dragging you away. I just got really creeped out. Really? By what? Well, I thought I saw something darting around the forest, so I wanted to get us back to the safety of the cabin as quickly as possible. Oh, interesting. Then I asked, do you remember what I did with Caden's shirt? I've been looking for it, but I can't find it. Yeah, I think I grabbed it from you and left it out there, he pointing to the backyard. My heart sank. Oh no, I wanted to hold on to it just in case I never found them. Oh, honey, I'm sorry. I'll run out there later and get it for you. No, you don't have to do that, Mr. Scarlo, especially. He stopped me. I want to. My way of begging for forgiveness. I grinned. He continued, how about today you go for a drive? See some different scenery. Maybe that'll clear your head a bit. I nodded. Not a bad idea. He joked, hopefully nothing happens to make you question your sanity. Yeah, hopefully. While driving, I found the first place Roman, Caden, Glenn, and I stopped out on our first ride. I parked, got out, and stood exactly where we did, taking in the beauty of the world. I fell to my knees and cried hysterically. I'm so sorry. I should have fought harder. I stayed for a little while longer before continuing my drive. At one point, I came to the road that led to the white building. I was hesitant to take it, but I did. Every time I have driven past that damn building, I have felt drawn to it. I have never stopped and stared at it until today. I parked my car, got out, and just glared at it. What the fuck do you want from me, you goddamn building? As I continued looking at it, I noticed something wasn't right. I saw a little bit of smoke coming from it. My eyes widened. Oh shit! I ran up to see if anybody needed help. My mom was a paramedic and I got to watch her save people's lives, so I guess I inherited that from her. I went up to the fence and yelled, hello? There wasn't an answer. I scanned around to find no one. Ahead of me was a heavy-looking metal door with an exit sign above it. It was open with some lingering smoke coming out of it. I again yelled, hello? With no answer. I wanted to make sure no one was harmed, but I also wanted to see what the hell happened in there. With a lot of hesitation, I forced myself to climb over the chain link fence to take a closer look. Shit, this is a bad idea. A very, very bad idea. Walking up to it, I already felt an uneasiness. As I went toward the door, I once again yelled, hello? Still no answer. I slowly looked in. It looked like some sort of lab with a bunch of different equipment set up all over. I walked in and asked, is anyone in here? I roamed around trying to figure out what went on in it, but everything was strewn about and broken. Ahead of me was another door, wide open with the lights flickering on and off. As I stepped toward it, there was a loud bang, like something hit against a metal locker. I jumped. Is someone there? Silence. I'm here to help. Let me know if you're hurt. Still silence. My mind was screaming, just get the fuck out of here, Ash. But something was luring me toward the door, or toward that room, excuse me. I went to it and looked in. There were metal cages big enough to hold human beings in it. They were ripped apart. The metals were bent outward as if whatever was in them let themselves out. Tables were flipped over and papers were all over the place. It was like a war zone. I walked over to the cages to study them because, again, I'm so goddamn nosy. I thought, whomever bent these bars must have Herculean strength. There's no way a normal human being could have bent the bars like this unless they were extremely hot. As I continued peering around, I noticed on one of the walls there was a corkboard with photos on it. I looked at them. They were before and after photos of young men who went from looking normal to looking different. Almost like Captain America, going from being the scrawny guy to a contestant for Mr. Olympia. They were the ones that passed. Below them were the ones that failed, but with only before pictures. There were no after. I guess they must have died, but from what? Going through the photos, I came across one where the guy looked familiar. It was partially burnt, so I couldn't see his whole face. I went to look closer when I heard a door slam, hard, behind me. I screamed and turned to find another door closed. With my heart pounding in my chest and my voice shaking, I asked, is someone there? The answer was something scratching against the metal door and growling. I yelled, fuck this, and ran out the door. I raced to my car, got in, and sped away. I wasn't about to find out what was behind that door. Upon arriving back, I walked into the cabin with Mr. Scarlow running to me, screaming, "We need to get the heck out of here!" I sprung out of my skin. "What the hell are you talking about, mister?" He came over to me and put his hands on my shoulders. "We need to leave this cabin right now, Ashlyn. When I went to go retrieve the shirt for you, I saw this thing with bright red eyes. I can't explain it, but it wasn't an animal, nor was it a person." While he talked, I thought back to the night I dreamt of seeing red eyes out of the living room window. Maybe it wasn't a dream. "Let's go to my cabin now," he said, huffing and puffing. Even though I believed him after what I experienced at the White Building, I still teased. "Mrs. Scarlow, did you have some of your tea?" "Ashlyn, I'm not joking. I know what I saw. Let's leave and go to my cabin now," he demanded. Inside, my whole body was screaming. He's right. Something is going on here. We should leave. But I stubbornly stood my ground. "With all due respect, Mr. Scarlow, how do you know it's not by your cabin now? And why didn't you call the sheriff?" "I did, and he didn't believe me." "Really? Why didn't he believe you?" His exact words were, "Monsters don't exist, Ned. Stop drinking your tea or taking whatever would make me arrest you." Can you believe that? I was disgusted. What? He threw his hands in the air. "That's what I said, but with more colorful words." Huh, Mr. Scarlow cursing is adorable. "Hold on." I walked over to my purse. "Let me try calling him and talking to him. He'll believe me." I grabbed my phone to only realize it died. Fuck, piece of shit died on me. "Ashlyn," Mr. Scarlow shouted with his hands on his hip. "Sorry, Mr. Scarlow. I meant, oh fudge, my cruddy phone died." He put his arms down. That's better. "See? Let me go charge it so I can call him later." I started walking toward my room when Mr. Scarlow grabbed my arm. "Honey, just grab your charger so we can go. I don't want to stay here any longer." The look I gave must have scared him because he immediately let go of my arm and said, "Please?" Living in New York, a girl must keep her guard up, and him grabbing me triggered me. However, I snapped back to reality and apologized profusely. "I'm so sorry, Mr. Scarlow. I didn't mean to scare you." He put his hands up. "Again, no apologies are necessary, hon. I completely understand, but please grab your charger and some stuff to stay overnight. With it getting darker out," we both looked out the windows to see the sun setting, "I don't want to be here if that thing is still out there." I sighed. "Look, Mr. Scarlow, I'm tired, and the way I feel, I don't think even Bigfoot would mess with me. I just want to try and get some sleep in my own bed." He nodded. I could tell he hated the idea of leaving me here alone, but also knew this was a losing battle. He said, "I can respect that, but please call me the second you wake up. That way I know you're okay." "Of course, Mr. Scarlow, I will." We hugged each other and he left. After he did, I plopped down on the couch and asked myself, what the fuck is going on around here? And that's all you're getting. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Like I said, that's kind of like the middle of the book. So again, I hope you really enjoyed that. I'm not gonna try. No, not gonna try organizing that. No way, Jose. So yeah. So there's that. Well, if you read the book, Ed, you'll find out why I stayed alone. Just saying. So yeah, well, there's one question right there. So I say let's get the question and answer session started. Babe, did you find any questions?
Yes.
Okay.
There's like a 10-second delay between this and it's welcome to my role. All right, so Barbara asks, even though she probably already knows the answer, when will your next novel come out?
When will my next novel come out? From Miss Barbara Dickinson. Honestly, I don't know right now. Right now, at this point, we're putting the disappearance out there. We're seeing what happens. And I think maybe after a week or so, once we calm down a little bit, we'll kind of figure out what we want to do. If we want to try and publish something next year, if we want to wait 2 or 3 years, because I still have to work on stuff. I still have to write a book or two, which, by the way, The Disappearance does have a book too that will come out. I'm guessing that'll be the second book I work on. It could be something else completely different. I got to see what Colette says. So we will see, but thank you. That was an awesome question. Giveaway entrant number 2. What's next?
So that actually answered one of Julia's questions.
Okay.
If we do a part 2 of the Disappearance.
Oh, well, there you go.
So Julia's other question is, were there other characters in the book based on people you know?
Ooh, Julia, awesome question. Just to add a little bit more to your first question, is there a part 2 to Disappearance? Again, yes, there is going to be a part 2. Don't have a title for it quite yet. I have tentative titles in my head. There's a lot of stuff in my head, so God give me strength. But yes, pretty much it's going to be a continuation of the story of Ashlyn and the boys. And you see what happens. And Ashlyn has a love in her life. So again, that goes more into detail in book 2. So were there any other characters based on people I know? So Ashlyn is, if anybody hasn't guessed it yet, based on me. Doesn't that scare you just a little bit? Yeah, Ashlyn is based on me. Jack, who is another character in the Disappearance, is based on Josh Gates. For those of you who don't know who Josh Gates is, he's an archaeologist slash cryptozoologist who's had a couple shows. He has Expedition Unknown on what channel is it? Discovery. He has Expedition Unknown Discovery right now. He used to host Destination Truth years ago. I love him dearly. He is so good. He's so hysterical. Oh my God. John and I got to see him live last year. So hysterical. When it comes to the other characters, they're just based on like celebrities. Mr. Scarlow is based on an actor. God, I can't remember his last name for the life of me. Greg Beard, I think. Amazing actor. He voiced a character in Far Cry 5, which is how I got to know him. I was watching John play the video game whenever he was playing it. And he's got this amazing voice, number one. And he's just got this amazing look, this amazing personality, this strong personality that I fell in love with. And he always plays these eccentric characters. So when I created Mr. Scarlow, who is actually a very new character to the story, he wasn't in the original story at all. He was the person that came up for Mr. Scarlow. Caden, Roman, and Glenn are based on wrestlers. Caden is John Cena, Roman is Roman Reigns, and Glenn is Kane. Mayor Glenn Jacobs in Tennessee, everybody. Woohoo! So yeah, for this particular story, a lot of the characters were based more on celebrities than people I actually know, except for Ashlyn. But yeah, so that's I hope that answers your question, Julia. But yeah, that's for this particular story, that's who they're based off of. It's more celebrities than actual people. So, any other questions?
Yes.
Yay.
We're bouncing around on questions here, but Big Boy and Frank, since you started mentioning about characters, this is hilarious. If the book is turned into a movie, would you consider Sam Elliott as sheriff in the movie? I say yes.
Oh, Frank. Oh, that's a good one. Hold on, I just want to fix my. Oh, that's a good one. You know what? I wouldn't be opposed to it. I would not be opposed to Sam Elliott playing Sheriff McGrady. I think he would be a perfect sheriff. And for those of you who are picking up the book and reading the book, I think Sam Elliott would be great. The only problem is, as I developed the character, I was seeing more of a pudgy guy than a slender guy. So Yeah, I didn't have anybody in particular for Sheriff McGreedy. Like, I didn't picture anybody particular for Sheriff McGreedy. I just pictured this southern, pudgy, sheriff-looking guy. But I would totally not be opposed to Sam Elliott playing Sheriff McGreedy. Oh, that's a good one. Awesome, Frank. I love it. Love it. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Mark asked, where did the idea of the book come from?
Awesome question. Thank you, Mark. So, I can't believe I'm saying this. 11 years ago, or actually more, maybe like 12 years ago, I was in college. I was taking my senior thesis class and I was majoring in creative writing. So my thesis was to write a story. And it had, a couple requirements. It had to be like 100 pages long and, this, that, blah, blah, blah. So for me, when I write a story, it normally comes from a dream I had. There's this one story that I'm working on where I had a like 5-second dream when in reality it was probably an hour dream of me being chased by somebody, and I created a vampire trilogy out of it. So I was like, all right, I need to have a dream that is going to give me an idea that will, become my thesis. Good luck with that. You can't just tell your mind, all right, have a dream. So, but thankfully I did. I had this dream of me and a bunch of other people. I don't remember who was near me, but I was stuck in this building and there was this monster trying to get through. And for those of you who remember Goosebumps, who not the books necessarily, but the TV show Goosebumps from the 90s. And I can't remember which episode, what the story was, but there was this one that had this weird looking creature in it that had this weird war. If you can find it, I probably can find it on Netflix. But I dreamed of that particular monster. From there, I created the Disappearance. At the time, the story was being called the Monsters of Lake Minnetonka, and the story was completely and utterly different from what it is now. But yeah, this is my college thesis that I turned into this amazing novel. Or I'm saying amazing, meanwhile you guys could read it and think it's a piece of crap, but you know what I mean. So yeah, it was my college thesis that became this novel. So I hope that answers your question, Mark. What else?
Okay, Larry, last question. He actually asked on Facebook. Thanks
Oh.
for following instructions, Larry. Do you have any question, or I'm sorry, do you have any ideas or timeline to start writing your next book?
No, Larry, to be very honest, I don't. Right now, here's my plan. I'm shutting this off and I'm laying down and drinking the rest of my wine. That's my timeline for right now. And maybe watching Deadpool later because I'm kind of in Deadpool mood. But starting to write another novel and timeline for that, I honestly, I don't know. I have so much other stuff that I need to work on. I have my blog that I need to get back to focusing on, and I have my business that I need to focus on as well. I'm hoping once me and my publisher have more of an idea of what we want to do next, that's when I'll start writing again. So that could be next week. We'll sit down and figure something out. That could be next month. That could be next year. Not 100% sure right now, but know that something is in the works. And when I say something, I mean 20 million things are in the works, and hopefully soon something will be out again and we can have some fun again, and maybe in person and not virtually. COVID. Anything else?
No, cut, print, wrap.
Oh, okay. So guys, thank you so much for joining me today. This, you all know, means the world to me. I am now a published author. Holy crap. And it's all because of you. it's all because of John. It's all because of my family. It's all because of Serial Writer Productions. So, as my lovely husband said, cut, rep, print, whatever he said. Anywho, I'm going to go drink wine. I hope you guys do too. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the rest of today, because today is a gorgeous day, and hopefully tomorrow is just as gorgeous. And for those of you who follow me on Facebook, which, by the way, below is a link to my Facebook page, my Instagram, and my Twitter. So go ahead and follow me on those if you want. Wednesday, 7:15 p.m. on my Facebook, I will be doing my live reading Wednesdays. What the hell I'm going to be reading, I have no clue right now, but we'll get to that come, Wednesday morning. And for those of you who still need to purchase The Disappearance, you can go onto Amazon for the ebook, or you can go onto my publisher's website for the paperback, which, by the way, when that comes in, I will sign it and then send it out to you. So for my publisher, the website is serialwriterproductions.com. That's serial, SERIAL, serialwriterproductions.com. Any questions, comments, message me, text me, call me, email me, send a pigeon, whatever. And I'll gladly, answer any questions you have. And I will do the giveaway later on tonight. And I'll announce on my social media who the winner is of the autographed book, bookmark, t-shirt, and the sangria. Oh, whoever gets the sangria, please share with me. Let's open the bottle together and share in the awesomeness that's Ed Hardy sangria. All right, guys, have a great night. Thank you so much again for joining in. And I will see you when I see you. Take care, guys. Love you. Bye.